Walked out, nobody ran out.
You power walked out.
Well, I do power walk.
She crying because her mama bought her that door bad.
What's going on, y'all? It's Coolio and welcome back for another video, but we're gonna tap into something a little different. One of my favorites, The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I know a lot of my fellow RHOA fans are excited about the premiere of the season because it seems like Candy's going to be a lot more activated, or might I say ignited, especially by our new addition, Courtney, who seems like she is not shying away from her feelings, whether justified or not. That's all I'll say. We have eyes on Sheree and Martell, which is a big load of something. I just have no specific words. Drew's divorce, a continuation of Marlo and the boys. There's a lot to look forward to. So let's hop right into breaking down this premiere episode. First, we start off with Martell and Sheree, which for a lot of people, I know that they were gagged off of that just because of the fact that Martell is from another franchise show called Love and Marriage, where you're actually getting to see currently how his relationship is playing out with his ex-wife and pretty much him wanting her back. So it's very, very interesting and weird to see him on here with Sheree. But even watching the premiere, honestly, I don't really feel like there's a lot of chemistry, sexual, I can see that, but as far as that deep emotional yearn for a connection or that interest there, at least on Martell's end, you don't really see that, which is kind of unfortunate for Sheree because we know what her dating history is like and we want her to win. At this point, we want her to win. We don't want to see anybody stuck in bad situations, but it just so happens some of the ones that she chooses is just...
Tomato. I'm throwing tomatoes at you, bitch.
Nevertheless, we get to see how Sheree and Martell's little situationship plays out. So I'm curious to see where this goes. Next, we start off with Candy's scene with the Candy Coded Clique, which was nice to see just because we haven't seen all three of them together in a very, very, very long time since some of the older seasons of RHOA, because I know Carmen started her own insurance business and left us a while ago. So we just kind of get to see them getting back together, getting into their little funny banter and having their moments together. Also, we get to see more of Monietta, Kenya, and Candy together, and I can see with Monietta, she's reflecting on last season, kind of being very neutral, getting to hear more of Marlo's side, even with all the stuff that Marlo was spewing towards Candy. So she's more so going to be speaking up, per se, from what she's saying on the premiere episode. So we get to hopefully see a different side of her, a little more ignited. Of course, it doesn't need to be over the top, but just, you know, just setting those boundaries and standing up for your friend, because I know when it comes to me, I'm not fooling with nobody or letting anything happen when it comes to my people, regardless. And it's kind of hilarious and crazy how Monietta is the first one to actually hook somebody up with Kenya out of the group. Just like how Kenya said, it's crazy, Candy, how I've known you for how long and it took Monietta to put me with somebody. I was like, yeah, that's right. That's very true. Because you don't really get to see Kenya dating through her friends. It's more so of somebody she has on her own. During these ladies' time together, Candy also starts to get emotional thinking about her work-life balance, how stuff is going with Todd, and it's so crazy how a lot of people say Candy's boring, she doesn't do anything, there's nothing that she's producing to RHOA aside from her own individual things that are truly like big. She's showing us right now what it's like being a person who has a healthy balance when it comes to being in front of the camera. You can tell for her, like, this stuff doesn't faze her, so she's focused on truly showing who she is as a person. So how does that have to be boring? I like the fact that we actually have somebody who's relatively normal and is able to express themselves, what it's like to balance your work life and your family life, what it's like when you have a lot of stuff going on as far as you and your partner, and balancing that, supporting one another, having those tough conversations. She's giving us pretty much like an open window just to see how relationships truly go and how you work through it. I'm hoping that with the situation that Candy and Todd have going on, that they can power through, just because I love them together. They really set a great example and are doing great things for our community. Next is Miss Sonia, and she's starting off with her 3-generational household, what it's like. I can only imagine, and they have 3 young children in there and 6 adults. That's a lot. But you get to kind of see how her and her sister's relationship dynamic plays out and different things like that. Not really too heavy stuff. So I'm just curious to see where this will go for her, just because I know her first season in a lot of people's eyes was very lackluster. So I'm curious to see if she really brings the hype up, especially with this party. And now we have the continuation of Marlo with the boys. You know, when she talked about it a lot more last season, actually really enjoyed it up until her kicking them out, and then just ultimately always wanting to seek like validation in that of like, I needed support, I'm helpless, I needed people to love me and help me, revitalize me. Like, that's understandable, but at the end of the day, when you choose to be a parent, a lot of those things are sacrificed, regardless if you get that time back, that rest or not. Nevertheless, I hope this is a good season for their family overall, just for us to be able to tap into some deeper levels of the family, get to see like how Marlo really is as a parent, also to get the boys' perspectives on a lot of things. That would be very nice. Hopefully too, we also get to see Marlo dates, because I know that she has some man coming up soon, and it'll be very interesting to see somebody that she actually gets to hang out with and share some bit of quality time on camera, because we have not gotten to see that from her before. Next, we have Sheree and Sonia hanging out, and then we get to meet our new addition, Courtney. I'm not gonna lie, after first seeing the episode and just her initial like welcome in through Sheree, I actually really liked her energy, and she seemed very fun and funny. However, that kind of changed really quick once they sat down to drink some wine after Sheree and Sonia's little fake workout, just to talk about the drama and how Kandi was going around asking about her. And then that doesn't necessarily sound like a bad thing, especially if you're in similar circles. And also too, we know Kandi does not play about who she's around. So it was more so like, oh, do y'all know her? I don't think it was anything to be spiteful. But for Courtney to hold on to it, she clearly feels some sort of way. So we'll definitely get to see how this plays out at the party. Also too, one thing that I noticed is that in this scene, specifically on this picture that I have from the episode, their chemistry was so awkward between Courtney and Sheree. It's honestly like they didn't even know each other like that, just because the way she sat down, she was like, you want me to pour you the drink? Just their mannerisms, especially Sheree's body language, it just seemed like she knew what Courtney was gonna say and do next. So that part did feel very scripted, very, very written, definitely. Finally, we are at the big party for Sonia's husband's 40th birthday. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, looking at the party, it did look very nice. However, for her to have spent $100,000 on that party, there's no way. Like, there's absolutely no way. However, she did it for him, and he likes it. That's what counts the most. And everybody honestly came up looking really good. The vibes were really good. The only people who seemed off were honestly Martell, Sheree, and also Courtney. Even Marlo was on her best behavior. I genuinely feel like Sheree's energy was a little bit off, because she already knew what she was going to be walking into with Martell. You know, he has a reputation by TV based off of his own television show that not a lot of people are going to favor, and you're also dating him, and your friends want to see you in a happy, honest space and something that's going to move forward. So a lot of them just had a lot of questions. With Courtney, she was all ready to go attack Kandi, and then we already knew Kandi wasn't having none of that. Redhead Kandi was ready. I also found it real funny how Sheree was making comments in her confessional about Monietta, just about her not speaking like all of 5-10 minutes from last season and speaking up now. I really do feel like she was genuinely looking out for her, because if y'all are going to be a group of girlfriends, she's going to want to make sure you're good, and clearly Monietta's setting everybody up, so she might have somebody for you. But however, Sheree is Shereeing again, so we just gonna let that be that. But hopefully Monietta will speak on that, or have moments to just really speak up and speak her mind on certain things, because I know she definitely has a stronger point of view. She's just very classy and articulate with her points, and prefers to be more reserved from what I see, but I respect that a lot. I definitely do. And it's crazy because they leave us on a cliffhanger with Sheree calling in Martell to have a conversation with him and Kenya and all the rest of the girls about him DMing her. And then we get into that next week. Honestly, from what I'm seeing just from, the episode, I honestly am on Kenya's side, just because it's like, you already have a bad reputation, so I don't think you're good for my friend. But we'll get to see how all that plays out. And I just want to know you all's thoughts about everything. What are y'all thinking so far about this premiere? Who's all had your favorite confessional look so far? Who do you think is really going to bring it this season? Is there anybody you're like, you might not bring it? Let me know your thoughts. Put it all in the comments, because I would love to chat and bet more with you all, just to get that engagement going, because I am a huge Housewives fan and will not shy away from conversations around Housewives, okay? Unfortunately, this is the conclusion of the video today, y'all. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please leave your comments of what you guys want to see more of. Also, please like the video, share, and subscribe to my channel, as I'm definitely going to be pushing more stuff out. We're going to be covering all things drag, housewives, and doing video game streaming, because I play video games too much not to share that. So I hope you all truly enjoyed this video. Have a blessed day, and until next time.